Let's go.
Hello, welcome to another episode of The Puzzle, wherein Isaac and I, two business-minded engineers, tackle a difficult business question for 10 minutes. We speak from personal experience and we combine everything we have seen that works, doesn't work, and got our hands dirty. Today's question is a hot question that we will have hot answers to, or maybe not so hot, we will see. And that question is company a family? Isaac?
No, it's not. Thank you for watching.
I completely agree with you.
See you next time.
Next time. Okay, joking aside, I didn't even get to start the 10-minute timer. And although we both agree it's not a family, I think it's worth just discussing kind of this position and what it means and what we think why that could be a harmful framing that you should not be doing.
Yeah.
So gonna start our timer and let's dig a little bit deeper into it.
So my simplest take for why it's not a family is because what is a family? Already, you said last time that words have power. So the word family, if I say it, it has some connotations for me. If somebody else hears it, they might not have the same connotations. Not every family is the same. You know, there are basically as many families as there are different combinations of people. Some are functional, some are dysfunctional, some are happy, some are unhappy. And the relationships, the familial relationships are so diverse across so different cultures, timelines, situations, conditions, that what does it even mean that a company is like a family? I mean, even if you forget, totally disregard the fact that it's not a family, because usually a family, you do not resign from a family doesn't fire you, a family doesn't pay you a salary and all that. I struggle to find any kind of similarity between a family and a company, especially seeing that I actually grew up in a family business. I'm running a family business, and I can tell you that even a family within a family business has a different way of working. People of a family within a family business, they are not the same people at work and at home. So I struggle to see where this delusional statement comes from, that a company is like a family. It's like arguing with a madman. I can find absolutely no way to start disentangling. It makes absolutely no sense to me. What do you think?
So there are different types of organizations, but what's in common with all of them is that they're dead entities that we came up with as legal concepts for whatever reason. And we do have a lot of research that says that most of the large organizations in our markets, in our free markets, are operated like a sociopaths. So a question is, why would you want to be a family of sociopaths? But that aside, I would draw, or I at least distinguish between, for example, small family-owned businesses, mom and pop stores, etc., where it will literally be a family working. So you have father, mother, and their children basically working in a store. This is not it. Where this statement I've seen mostly used is in exploitative and abusive setup in large organizations, where you basically emotionally abuse and emotionally blackmail your employees, you know, to work longer hours, to spend their own money, you know, to get things done, to go over and beyond. And as you said, in might sound harsh, but you know, in functioning families, you will not get fired, you will not resign, you will not get kicked out. You know, you are there for each other to bigger or lesser extent. Organizations don't operate like that. I guess it got there from as a sort of shorthand for becoming close, for becoming a community, which I think is, you know, bonding at the workplace is perfectly normal. And for example, I mean, this is a more of a masculine kind of example, but men usually bond over suffering together, like strenuous activity together, you know, that brings them closer. Oh, you know, no, it was crunch time, we lived through it, and this kind of thing. That's normal. You become closer. That's great. But that's not family. It's still not family. Personally, when I say that I think it's bullshit that a company is family, I'm not taking a position that bonding and creating relationships, closer relationships at work is bad. Not at all. But it's not a family. Just because we become close at work, that does not make us family. And the side that it might also get in the way of actually making the right decision. I'm not talking here like you pursue profit and then you get your friend fired, but when it becomes a little bit more questionable, a little bit more of a gray zone, when things go bad, when safety gets jeopardized, when you get asked, why don't you just sign this, we are buddies, and you look at it and you say, what is this? This hasn't really happened. Come on, like, don't worry, I would never do that. And you know, this kind of things. So yeah, I mean, to me, company as a family concept is more about exploitation than really kind of any meaningful benefits.
There could be an angle that I was thinking about now, is that it is absolutely true that for some people, the environment in which they work, especially if they don't have a strong family experience or they don't come from a functional family, I can imagine that the bonding that they find with colleagues in an organization, and especially the bonding that might be fake and created, as you say, in an exploitative manner to squeeze them for more, sometimes for things that are morally gray or even black, that were morally bad, let's say. That these people, they find they are more willing to accept that, oh, finally, I've arrived somewhere where it feels like a family. But as you said, the bonding with people, with colleagues, no matter how you bond, maybe you bond over beers, maybe you bond over long hours, maybe you bond over suffering, long trips, difficult projects, whatever. That still has very little to do with a family. And you can look at the family, when you say it's like a family, okay, what kind of family is it like? Is it like a family where it's you with your parental figures? When you say it's like a family, is it you and their kids involved? And so if you apply this, what does it mean? That there is a father and a mother, or there are parental figures of any kind of constellation, and there are some people who are the adolescents in the room. So what, even that, it doesn't compute for me, because then you're implying that you have parental and adolescent positions hierarchically somehow, and it just doesn't make any sense. Beyond the fact that, as I said, even in functional families, I can tell you, the difficulty of being in a business that's actually like it's of a family, is that you are skating always between two roles, and that by itself is not easy. It doesn't mean you can actually be a family and be in a business, and even in that business, you're not operating like a family. You don't talk to each other like a family because you assume the role that you play, which is a business role. I'm not talking about a mom and pop store. I'm not talking about, like a grocery store. I'm not talking about a more like traditional small family, everybody works together, but more of a business environment where you have to have deadlines and things somebody needs to do and issues that if somebody has a role to tackle. Even there, the actual family doesn't operate like a family. So it makes absolutely no sense. And I agree with you. It's more of a narrative that's being promoted to get people to be hopeful about the lack of bonding, maybe in other places in their life, to project upon the organization that's talking about itself like a family, to project upon it expectations that tomorrow they are not there anymore. Because legally, there is no obligation to act in a way that is like a family. And rationally, there is actually also no obligation to act in a role that is like a family. So for me, the whole concept is totally an absolute zero. And whenever I hear people say, "Oh, we're like a family here," I'm like, what does this mean? What do you mean exactly? It's my alarm bells start ringing in my head that I'm being, as you said, somebody's bamboozling me. Actually, somebody's trying to they're using words to create in me some kind of expectation, some kind of a mental image of harmony and love and devotion, and we're here for you. And no, you're not. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can be the best company. It's not even a distrust towards organizations. I've worked in great organizations, and I like working in big organizations and smaller ones. depending on the situation, on the supervisors, the team. You can be in a great organization. It doesn't have to be a family to be a great organization. In fact, the best organization I was in never said that they're like a family. They said they're people-oriented, they're proud of their culture, and that's it. Why do you need to bring family into this? Even if you have the best mental image of a family, doesn't match at all. It's a total different sociological setup.
Yeah, there was a period, but I don't think that influenced that, because it was different, similar words, but different contexts. So that was, if you remember, General Electric, their big portfolios, etc., conglomerates. So during when conglomerates were big, there was a lot of discussion about corporate strategy and parent advantage, which was meant for corporate headquarters. Yes. What kind of advantage do they bring to the companies they own? So one of the framing was kind of the parent advantage, etc. But that I don't associate with this. When we think, I know I'm being harsh, and this is like, oh, time out. This is like 10 minutes of ranting against a company as a family concept. So I'm gonna end with an even more skating one, and that is, when we think about big organizations that go hard on we are a family, two of the most predatory organizations, cults and multi-level marketing schemes.
Yes,
they're all, we are your family, we are more family than your actual family. They try to isolate you from your other communities in order to exploit you.
Yeah, so it proves it goes in this direction, that these are notions used by those who want to prey upon people who are finding themselves in a fragile emotional state. And these people, it's my understanding, I'm not a psychologist, I'm going to be a bit of an armchair psychologist here. There is a gap that people have in their life, maybe lack of parental figures, maybe lack of an environment of motherly, fatherly devotion, parental devotion, and there's a big gaping hole. And manipulative sociopaths in those environments, they aim to fill that hole by letting them, using the word family, and then letting those vulnerable people just step over the precipice into that hole, expecting them to project upon the organization that which they have been lacking. And I agree, it's a manipulation tactic. There's no other, for me, I agree with you, there's no other way to look at it, because it doesn't make any sense from any angle you look at it. And I feel sorry for people who fall prey to this kind of mindset. You don't have to be a family or to say you're like a family to have a great organization where people will love working and will bond with others and will have an amazing result and have a great career, great work experience, enrich their lives. It even backfires, I would say. Sends very bad signals, for sure.
Isaac, I will stop us here. I think we said enough about this. But for you listening, we would love to hear you as well. Send comments, send an email, etc. Do you find this notion of company as a family as nonsensical as we do? And we're interested to hear if you actually find it very useful. I mean, we are here to learn as well. We understand we have our own worldviews, and we recognize that they're not the only ones.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
that being said,
I never worked in a cult or for an MLM, so how could I know?
Okay, thank you for listening, and see you again next week.
See you. Bye-bye.